Okay, so this is the spoiler-free Burky Movies review of...
Joker. So welcome everybody, I'm Burky.
I'm Kirky.
And together we're Burky Movies. This is the start. So today we thought we'd start it off with quite a classic movie that's out at the moment. It's very, very popular with Joker. This was the first time that I had seen it, but it was the second time that Kirky had seen it. And Kirky, second time around, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, we watched it just this morning. We only got out of the cinema about half an hour ago. I didn't really feel like I needed to watch it a second time. I was struggling a little bit watching it for the second time, but I thought it was important to watch it with you, and I quite enjoyed seeing your reactions to some of the bits as they were happening.
Yeah, I just quickly, this is going to be a spoiler-free edition of this specific review. Yeah, I liked it. I thought I was into it for the first third of the film, I'd say. Then it lost me a little bit for a while, and I kind of thought, where's this going? Because it's not really going anywhere. We're just literally learning about the Joker, but there's no real plot as such, apart from this is how he becomes the Joker. And then, yeah, so I lost it a little bit. And then quite an exciting finale. So the last, I'd say, 15, 20, 25 minutes were actually quite exciting, and I got back into it again. It drew me back in because there was a lot more action going on. But yeah, it was the middle third, I'd say, that I kind of lost it a little bit.
For me, it got a bit baggy in the middle.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's only so much you can do, isn't there? I mean, how much can you do of this is the Joker and this is how it becomes the Joker? There's only so much you can really do about that, and that's why I kind of lost it for me. I mean, a lot of people, I've read a lot of reviews going into this, and a lot of my friends on Facebook and etc. have been saying how great this film was, and it was good. Don't get me wrong, the performances were great. They also said a lot about how it highlighted mental health and things such as that, which it did. It did, and I'll give it that. There was a lot around mental health that was mentioned within the film.
Definitely wasn't well, was he?
No, he wasn't a well individual at all. So it highlighted a lot around the mental health side of things and about how they dealt with the mental health and would this have happened had he had the intervention, etc., etc., etc. Which I got and I kind of followed, but then I kept being brought back to the fact that this was a fictional world that he's in. It's not a real world. So, when you look at how certain departments dealt with certain things, like the way they portray the police in these kind of films, in any form of...
And the social services.
We're two individuals that deal with that kind of... In real life, we deal with that kind of thing a lot. So when you see it, you have to accept that it's a fictional world. And when you do that, you have to kind of accept the fact that the police are going to be inept. They're extremely inept. They're absolutely useless. But you accept that. You accept that because that's otherwise Batman wouldn't come along, would he? So,
well, the overriding theme was that society was letting him down. It was a broken world that he was living in, a broken city. There was plot points about how some people might be trying to make the city better, and the city's tense. And it was, for me, it was fueling the Joker's paranoia, his delusions, and then to his violence towards the middle towards the end.
Yeah, definitely. And when you look at so many things happen to him within the film, we're not going to give it all away, but there's lots of plot points within that, the storyline, which just makes things worse. I mean, just with regards to his home life, to his family life, to his work, everything goes against him. And that's how he becomes, it pushes him to becoming the Joker. And that's essentially what the film is. It's watching that path from being someone who's clearly mentally unwell. And they don't hide away from that. I do like that about the film. They don't just say, a lot of films would just say he's mentally unwell, therefore he is the Joker. But this shows about the link between him becoming the Joker, about how he was into comedy and why he was into comedy, and how his mental health worked with that and helped, assisted in becoming the person he became. I really liked that. I liked that part. It was a very clever way of doing it, and I really enjoyed that part of it. It was just, I just felt, for me, it needed a flip side to it. It was just so much Joker that after a while it became a little bit too much for me.
I think the Batman story overall is that the two of them are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
But in this film, you just get one side of a coin.
Yeah, which you get because it's the Joker, so you're going to get that. But it was just a little bit too much. I just needed a little flip from the other side, just to whether it was, so for example, just from someone investigating, the what he was getting involved in, or even social care, anything. Just a flip side of that, just to see.
Yeah, I agree.
Instead, it was every single scene was Joker. I mean, every single scene. I don't think there was a single scene where it wasn't him.
Did it remind you of 127 Hours?
Oh yeah, yeah, pretty much. But just constantly the Joker.
Or Cast Away with Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Do you know what? And you're not far off from that. It was
thematically they're different films.
I get that. I get that. But it just needed just a little bit of relief from him every now and then, and maybe see it from when they looked into his background, for example. Rather than do it through him, do it through someone else or anything, just to ease it off the joke and just getting constant reminders of him. So it was a bit much for me in that sense, but as I say, well performed. It was an enjoyable film.
I'm glad that I watched it. I would have only watched it the once if we weren't going to be doing this review.
Yeah. So cat destroyed everything. So
so should we do the scores that we'd give it and then move on to spoiler?
Yeah, so for me, very good, really enjoyable, very well performed, and most of it come across really well. However, I got bored, and if I get bored during the film and I want to Google the ending, tends to say to me that it just wasn't that fun. The worst thing about this film as well was it wouldn't have mattered if I Googled the ending, because the ending was pretty much self-explanatory anyway. So for that reason, out of 5 for me, 3 out of 5.
I was really impressed with Joaquin Phoenix's, his whole performance. It was so realistic, the way he just progressively got worse, I suppose, as the film went on. He had a real strong arc of, an emotional journey. It was an amazing performance, but the film itself, I did think that it was a bit samey and a bit one note through most of the film, but it did pick up, especially towards the end. I would also give it 3 out of 5.
Do you know what it reminded me of? It was more of a documentary than a film. I kind of felt like that, of how it become what it was, because with a film you expect this grand finale of where, I don't know, where everything's going to come to a head. And I kind of, it sort of did with this film, but because you're just focusing on one character all the time and nothing's going to come to a head because it was just the one character evolving, it felt like more of a documentary. So that, I know there was a lot of people out there that loved it, and I get that, and I get why you loved it. But for me, so 3 out of 5 as well.
After the first time I watched it, I come away really thinking about the film Fight Club, which I guess I'll talk about a bit more when we do the spoiler bit. Should we move on to spoilers now? Yeah.
So guys, the ultimate Burky review in this one will be 6 out of 10. So 3 out of 5 and 3 out of 5 makes 6 out of 10. So slightly above average. I know some people were disappointed with that because I think it was a great film, but for us,
it was a good film, but it could have been better.
Yeah.
And I think we could talk about a few of those points.
We will. Guys, catch us on the spoiler-free one, on the spoiler one, which is coming up next. So after you click on the next link will be below for the spoilers, and come and see us there. See you in a bit.